Hey, what's cracking, everybody? On this video, we're going to be taking a look at the new installer for StormOS. This is a new installer that they curated themselves. So we're going to take a look at their system. I've already used it once, and it does work really well, and it's a pretty great installer. So this video is going to be a guide on how to use the StormOS custom installer. All right, so let's let the system boot up, and it has. All right, so you see right here on the desktop, we have an icon. It says StormOS installer. So I'm going to click on that. But before I do, let me go ahead and fix the screen resolution. Get a proper 1080p. All right, there we go. We're set. So this icon right here that's on the desktop, it says install the operating system to disk, name StormOS installer. So double click on this, and then you get your options. So the first option right here says pre-flight check. So this is going to check your system settings and see what you need to get it installed. So you see right here, it says Wi-Fi not detected. So it doesn't detect Wi-Fi. It says running as root, required tools present, and boot detected BIOS legacy. So it will detect UEFI or BIOS legacy. And then it tells you whether you have an internet connection or not. All right. And once all your pre-flight checks are in order, you click right here. I understand this installer can erase disks and I accept full responsibility. So it's no secret. We all know if you're going to install a system, you're going to basically blow out your whole disk. So this is just you confirming that you understand that. And you just click it and you can see it automatically fixes all three of these options right here. So then we're going to click on next. Then on next, it's basically showing you what it's all going to be installed on. So on this one, dev VDA is my 40 gigabyte hard drive on this virtual machine. All right, install mode, erase disk, automatic partitioning. And this is destructive, of course. There is also use existing partitions. So basically, if you want to partition the drive yourself, you do have that option. But in most cases, you're going to use the erase disk and just use the easy partition. Okay, now boot mode. It's automatically selected to auto, means that it did select that we're on BIOS legacy. But if you want to just to play it safe, be on the safe side, and you know if you're on UEFI or BIOS legacy, you can just select that here. Or you can just leave it on auto. And then, of course, you got your file system. So, you got ext4, btrfs, and xfs. You use whatever you want. I always use ext4 because it's just a force of habit. There's no special reasoning behind it. There's nothing. It's just a default. It's default set in my brain to use ext4. So that's what I use. All right. And then you can see right here, we are in erase mode. Erase mode will destroy all data on the selected disk. Double check the disk name. Example, dev nvme1. Basically, you're just checking to make sure you're installing it to the right disk. Since this is a virtual machine, I know this is the right disk. But if I was on bare metal, this will even pick up your USB drives and things like that. So that's something you got to be aware of. You got to make sure you're installing to the right disk. All right, all our checks are good. Click on next. All right, erase mode selected. Partitions are created automatically. Root is formatted. EFI is created, formatted in UEFI mode. But of course, we're not in UEFI mode, so all these options are blank. So if you're on BIOS legacy, there's nothing to do right here. You can just click on next. All right, system. You got your host name, it's StormOS, and then your username. So change live user to whatever you want it to be. In this case, I'm going to be LinuxHub. And then passwords are limited, so you have to have 4 or more characters. It doesn't tell you anywhere, but you have to have 4 or more. So I'm just using 4 characters. Make it strong and complicated, of course. And then right here, you have a time zone. If you want to set it, you can. If you want to leave it and just set it afterwards, you can do that also. The choice is up to you. But that's all I need to do to set it. Then I click on next. Okay, right here now we have some desktop and login options. So you can see right here, desktop environments, multi-select. So you can actually select them all if you wanted to install them all. But you know, that is a little risky. While I understand that it will work, some programs may argue with other programs on the system itself, and it could become a headache, but it will work. Nonetheless, it will work. But in this case, I'm just going to install the XFCE version, so I'll just leave it like that. And then you have an option right here for display managers. This is pretty cool. I've never seen this on any other installer. And it's right here. You can see it's set up to auto based on selected desktop environment. But that doesn't mean that you can't use one or the other. For example, on LinuxHub Prime, I use LightDM for Plasma, and you know, everyone seems to think that it could only be done with SDDM or whatever. But you know, you can mix and match them. The only one I highly do suggest that if you use GNOME, use GDM. Yeah, GNOME plays well with GDM. It does not play well with LightDM. I never tried it with SDDM. I'm pretty sure it'll work. It works for LightDM, but there's just a list of options, and you have to figure out which is the right one. If you just do GDM, just out the from the gate, it just works easily. So this is one that I do agree needs its own login manager, display manager. But you can use LightDM, because after your first login, once you figure out which one it is, then you'll be set, and it'll remember that choice. But GDM just makes it easier. So the only one I do suggest that is used is on GNOME to use GDM. But it's your choice. You can use whatever you want. Click on next. All right, confirm, read carefully. So right here, it's telling you everything that's going to happen. And you can see right here, if anything above is wrong, go back now. And then you have a disclaimer right here. The installer may erase disk partitions and can cause total data loss. You accept full responsibility for any damage, data loss, or downtime. Only proceed if you understand exactly what will happen. Type the confirmation word to enable install. Erase. So right here, you just have to type erase. And I did it all in capital letters. And then we have an optional create ButterFS restore point, existing partitions, plus no formatting, plus ButterFS only. So this is only if you use ButterFS as your file system manager. But we didn't. We chose ext4. So right here, I'm just going to click on I understand, I want to proceed, and then I click on install now. And that's pretty much it. From here, the installer does the rest and gets it done. All right. So here you just sit back, it's like a 5-minute installation. It's pretty fast. It does everything pretty quick. So yeah, works pretty good. So, right here, I'll just go ahead and pause the video. When we come back, it'll be the end of the installer. And there you have it. We have a full installation now. So installation completed successfully. You may now reboot. Just click on OK. And you can go ahead and close this window. And then we can go ahead and reboot the system. And there we have it. Our system is now fully installed using the custom StormOS installer. All right, you guys. So this is pretty straightforward. The installer is easy. There's nothing difficult about it at all whatsoever. So you shouldn't have any problems getting your installation done. All right, but if you do have some problems, just leave a comment down in the video description, and we'll see if we can square it up for you. All right, you guys. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you like the video you just saw, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, by all means, give it a thumbs down. It's all fair game here on LinuxHub Prime. And I'm